the previous session, we have seen how sampling process converts continuous time signal into discrete time signal and what is the importance of sampling theorem in that process. Today in this session, let us recall the previous topic, that is sampling theorem. As we know, sampling theorem states that a continuous time signal may be completely represented in its samples and recovered back if the sampling frequency Fs is more than or equal to twice the maximum frequency of the original input signal x of t. The condition of sampling theorem is Fs should be greater than or equal to 2 into Fm, where Fs is equal to sampling frequency of the sampling signal and Fm is equal to maximum frequency of the original input signal or continuous time signal x of t. If this condition is true, then only sampler circuit can extract the sufficient number of sample value from the original input signal x of t and same signal can be recovered or reconstructed back at the receiver end. Now we will see the proof of sampling theorem by considering the time domain representation and frequency domain representation. Let us consider this signal representation as analog input x of t in time domain representation. Now you can observe that here continuous time signal is varying from minus infinity to plus infinity over the time axis. The same signal spectrum can be represented in frequency domain as this. This is called a spectrum of analog signal, where the maximum frequency of the input signal varying from plus Fm to minus Fm, and the spectrum of analog input signal is denoted as x omega. As we know that this continuous time signal can be converted into discrete time signal by using a sampling signal is called as impulse train and it is denoted as delta Ts of t. Here in the sampling signal you can observe that time nts is varying from minus 4 Ts to plus 6 Ts. Once we apply the analog input signal x of t and sampling signal delta Ts of t to the sampler circuit, it will produce a discrete time signal which is also called as a sampled output and it is denoted as g of nts. In the frequency domain representation, the sampled output can be represented as this. The spectrum of discrete time signal is called as g omega, where it consists of number of sampled values and spectrum of each successive sample values are non-overlap between them. This is possible only when sampling frequency or sampling rate Fs is greater than or equal to twice the maximum frequency of the input signal x of t. This is all about sampling theorem. Now we will move on to the next topic, that is sampling techniques. In digital communication system, there are two types of sampling techniques are being used. First one is impulse sampling or ideal sampling and second one is practical sampling. Here the practical sampling is once again classified into two types, that is natural sampling and flat top sampling. Let's understand this concept one by one. Let us begin with first type of sampling, that is impulse sampling or ideal sampling. If the continuous time signal x of t is sampled instantaneously at the rate of sampling rate Fs once every Ts second using impulse train, then we obtained sufficient number of sample value, that is g of nts. This ideal form of sampling technique is called as ideal sampling or impulse sampling. In this type of sampling technique, we use impulse train as a sampling signal, that is delta Ts of t. Hence this type of sampling is called as impulse sampling. this type of sampling is not practically realizable since it is very difficult to generate the impulse. So that we have to study the practical method of sampling technique, that is natural sampling and flat top sampling, that we will study in next slide. The second one is practical sampling. As we know, in the practical sampling there are two types, that is natural sampling and flat top sampling. First we will see how natural sampling technique can be used to convert the continuous time signal into discrete time signal. If the continuous time signal x of t is sampled and converted into discrete time signal g of nts by using periodic pulse train at the rate of sampling rate fs once every ts second, then this type of sampling technique is called as natural sampling. Natural sampling is a practical method in which the amplitude of sampled output varies during the length of time nts and top or peak sample value of the sampled output follows the original signal x of t. This type of sampling process is not preferred frequently because natural sampling is quite complex to reconstruct the original signal x of t. To recover this problem, we use another type of practical sampling method that is called as flat top sampling. Flat top sampling is very similar to natural sampling method, but in this type of sampling, top or peak of the samples remains flat or constant and it is equal to the amplitude or instantaneous value of original signal x of t at the start of the sampling. So that in this type of sampling, sampled output is also called as flat top sampled output. In digital communication system, to sample the continuous time signal, flat top sampling process is preferred because it simplifies electronic circuitry which is used to perform the sampling operation. In flat top sampling process, to sample the continuous time signal, sample and hold circuit is used to generate flat top samples. This is all about types of sampling techniques. In the next session, we will see how we can use sample and hold circuit to generate the flat top sampled output. Thank you so much for your attention. See you in the next video.